Well, Wayne, very pleased to have you in studio tonight, sir. It's good talking to you again.
Good to be with you, Cam.
You know, and it's hard to believe, but in just about 6 weeks, we're going to start having the first primaries, first caucuses, and, less than a year away from the 2012 elections.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, and I'll tell you this. If you're an American gun owner, a supporter of the Second Amendment, this is the most dangerous election of our lifetimes for our freedom. The truth is, this election could break the back for Second Amendment freedom in the United States.
Are you talking about the, for obviously a variety of reasons. We've got Fast and Furious, and, the details just keep getting worse and worse. But as we've also talked about, the makeup of the Supreme Court is going to be huge going forward. We know that there are going to be more Second Amendment cases, and we've got that 5-4 majority. And in the next 4 years, it's expected that whoever is the president is going to have the opportunity to replace several members of the Supreme Court.
That's exactly right. I mean, everyone knows that if President Obama gets reelected, he's going to have 1, 2, probably 3 Supreme Court appointments. And our Second Amendment rights as individual citizens will be gone. What they will do is they will reverse the Heller case, reverse the McDonald case. They'll say there's no individual right to own a firearm in the United States. It's only a government right. And U.S. citizens at that point will be on no different footing than those poor souls in the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, other places around the world where there's no individual right to own a firearm. It's just a political fight.
Yeah.
Now, we'll fight it, but we will have no constitutional right underpinning this great American freedom.
And I'm sure the folks at Media Matters for America and others are going crazy right now, but just look at what Sonia Sotomayor and Elena Kagan, along with the other 2 justices in the minority opinion, that 4-person minority, they wanted to gut the Heller decision. They wanted to completely undo the decision that struck down D.C.'s handgun ban. In McDonald, they really want to take us back to a time where the Second Amendment doesn't apply to you or me or anybody else.
That's exactly right. I mean, they fully intended to erase it from the Bill of Rights and exercise it from the Constitution of the United States. I mean, my gosh, what makes us unique in this country? What makes us special? We Americans believe in these unique benefits of American freedom. We believe our way of life is better. We believe our country's better. And we sure believe our Second Amendment makes us better. But it's time for us to join together and rally and make sure that President Obama does not get a second term. If you're a Second Amendment supporter, it's time to step forward and make sure President Obama does not get a second term to destroy the Second Amendment. And
I know you've got a piece in America's First Freedom and other publications talking about the Obama agenda in a second term, and it's fascinating to me. I mean, you laid out the hints that the administration offered early on and then pulled back. Eric Holder saying, "Oh, we just want to do a couple of things, including banning all semi-automatic firearms." Very quickly, Holder dropped that comment. There were other on the website after Obama was inaugurated, a laundry list of things that they wanted to change, and then just like that, the website disappears. But without a doubt, I mean, this administration, from the Attorney General to the President himself, have decade-long anti-gun histories. They've never been on the side of the individual gun owner. They've never been on the side of the right to keep and bear arms.
Yeah, I mean, Cam, look, I've spent 30 years looking around corners and seeing threat. That's one of the reasons why the NRA is so strong, why our freedom is so strong. We've done that together with Americans throughout the country. This is not going to be a year where gun owners are apathetic. We very clearly see the threat out there, and we're sure not going to be fooled by media assurances that we know are nonsense. And what's nonsense is what the media is putting out there, that President Obama is no threat to the Second Amendment if he gets reelected. This is an administration that is embedded with people that have spent their lifetimes trying to destroy this freedom. And if they get reelected, it's Katie bar the door. They're trying to fog the issue right now through the 2012 election. But make no mistake, if President Obama gets a second term, there'll be nothing to hold him back. And this individual right, this great American freedom, will be gone. It's time for us to step up right now.
So what do gun owners need to do right now, Wayne?
Well, the good news is this election's not going to be decided in California. It's not going to be decided in New York, not even going to be decided in states like Texas. It's going to be decided in all these big gun and hunting states in the heartland of the country. West Virginia, Missouri, Ohio, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Virginia, North Carolina, Indiana, and I can go on and on. It's about 15 of them. And if gun owners and hunters step up, and there are hundreds and thousands and millions of us, and deliver even 2, 3, or 4 percentage points in those states, President Obama will not win re-election, and that's our job. I've always said NRA is about our membership and giving voice to our membership. It's time for us all to step forward right now and put up a wall in all these gun and hunting states to save the Second Amendment. We're capable of doing it, and that starts with making sure you have an NRA membership card in your pocket right now, because that gives us the resources to do the job that we need to do to get the word out about the threat that we're facing and why it's so important to step forward right now to save the Second Amendment.
Absolutely. Well, I know we're going to be talking about this in the weeks and months to come, Wayne, but I'm glad you could join us tonight. And, you know, I mean, again, I think as you look at what happened with H.R. 822, the National Right to Carry Reciprocity Act, I mean, clearly the will of the American people is that we don't want our Second Amendment rights threatened. We don't want them stripped. We want them expanded. We want them secure. And this administration is going to fight gun owners every step of the way.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you talk about right to carry it. Believe me, I mean, there's not a government or an authority on the planet that can substitute for your individual right to own a firearm if your glass breaks at 2 a.m. at night and there's some criminal that ought to be in jail trying to terrorize a home. And that's the freedom that we're defending. And it's up to each of us every day to defend that freedom. It's just words on a piece of parchment paper about that thin unless we all step forward and defend it every day.
Absolutely. Wayne LaPierre, as always, sir, a real pleasure, and look forward to doing this again soon.
Thanks for having me, Cam.